On the 1st of July 2011, at 8 o'clock in the morning, we left Manchester Airport to go to Mykonos and onwards via Tinos to Syros. After our first sighting of the Greek coastline, our pilot did us an enormous favour and we had a view of the Olympic Stadium in Athens as we flew along through Greece.
As we had a few hours to wait for our ferry departure from Mykonos, we were delighted to refresh our memories of a previous visit here. A 10-minute taxi drive from here and we had reached our destination.
The last two pictures were the views from our hotel room in the Mistrali Hotel in Galissus. The pathway to the beach facilities and the swimming in the sheltered little bay were absolutely idyllic. I just loved every minute of it. On the left of the bay was an esplanade and a small harbour with pretty little fishing boats in there.
Each evening we watched the sunset as we dined at the taverna next door to our hotel.
High Street had a wide selection of places to eat and drink, and at the end, where this photograph is, was the bus termini, where every hour you could go into town or round the island on the buses.
Today we decided to take a walk into the hills. And soon we were to visit the Roman Catholic Church.
I imagine, as priest in this diocese, his remit covers other islands, and here is the boat to prove it, just as the priests are in the Scottish Islands. Today on our walk we took the rural route to Damascus, and the following pictures showed you the very interesting things that we saw along the way. As a woman with a rural background, I always find the countryside interesting.
A quick bus ride after breakfast and we were strolling around the neighbouring village of Finicas.
Hermopoli is not only the capital of Syros, but is the administrative capital on the Cyclades group of islands. Here are the steps from the bus termini and the harbour to the first building that we wanted to look at. This church was built in 1829 and is host to the famous icon of the Assumption of Holy Mary by El Greco. The picture is remarkably difficult to photograph because it has glass in front of the painting. From the protective and pretty gates of the church, you can clearly see the ferries leaving the harbour. Find in Mayuli Square, Syros City Hall. The foundations were set in 1876 and it was completed in 1898, as was the building that you see above the town hall, which is the church of the Archangels Michael and Gabriel.
La Traviata is being performed at the Apollo Theatre Syros. A bit of a coincidence, as we are to see La Traviata in the Grand Theatre Blackpool in November.
church of Ein Nikolaya lies only a few metres from the Apollon Theatre. It's a magnificent church, and in the small garden lies the monument of the unburied soldier, or the unknown soldier, which was the first monument to be built for the unknown soldiers that fought for freedom.
And back to our hotel, where we would like to thank Antonio and everyone at the Mistrali for helping to make our holiday such a wonderful experience.
Our thanks to Mary, who was there every evening to provide our coffee and to provide the translation as well, and also to Agony, who provided us with much material in English that we have found very useful indeed. Our thanks to Nicole for providing breakfast every morning and translations also, and especially for her trip down to the ferry just before we left with some documents that we'd left behind. Thanks again, Nicole. The grand finale to our holiday, on reaching Mykonos harbour, was that there was a taxi strike. But, as in every Greek island we've ever been to, there was a saviour. And here is the man with his motorbike and little cart, and that is how we got from the harbour to the airport on our last day. What a great man he was, and what an exciting ride.